Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into 9 huge spoilers for Hollyoaks next week from October 28th to November 1st. Get ready for some intense drama. Frankie is on a mission to get answers from JJ as his condition worsens, while Peri starts to get suspicious about Cleo. And let's not forget, Donny is definitely in the doghouse. Stay tuned for all the juicy details in our full spoiler roundup. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates and insider scoops. 1. Frankie is shocked Darren and Jack head to the hospital with hope, eager to find out if Darren can help JJ by donating bone marrow. But their hopes take a hit when they discover that JJ is nowhere to be found. It's a tough blow, leaving them with a sense of urgency and worry about what's happening with their friend. The uncertainty of JJ's condition looms large, and they can't shake the feeling that time is running out. Meanwhile, Nancy brings some tough news to Frankie and Vicky. She shares that JJ isn't responding to his treatment, which adds to everyone's anxiety. The idea that Darren might be a match for a transplant brings a glimmer of hope, but it also raises concerns for Frankie. She fears she might be called on to donate as well. Vicky steps in to ease her worries, assuring her that she wouldn't be put in that position. It's a moment filled with tension as they grapple with the reality of the situation, but also a reminder of their support for each other during these challenging times. 2. Grace takes a risk. Mercedes finds herself in a tough spot and turns to Grace for help, expressing just how desperate she is. It's a big ask, and Grace knows it could put a lot on the line for both of them. The weight of their friendship hangs in the balance as she grapples with the decision. Ultimately, Grace decides to go through with it and heads out to pick up the drugs that Mercedes needs. But before she leaves, Mercedes reminds her that they both have something significant to lose if things go sideways, adding a layer of tension to their already risky situation. Later, the plot thickens when Freddie shows up with Curtis and asks Mercedes for a last-minute favor to babysit. This sudden request throws a wrench into Mercedes' plans, leaving her scrambling to manage everything. As she juggles the chaos of babysitting and the potential fallout from her earlier decisions, there's a real possibility that Freddie might stumble upon the truth. The stakes are higher than ever, and with secrets swirling around, the situation could lead to some explosive revelations that might change everything for Mercedes and Grace. 3. JJ collapses. JJ makes his way back to the village, but it's clear that things aren't looking good for him. Feeling sicker by the day, he decides to keep his distance from everyone and even leaves a note for Frankie at Price Slice. It's a heartfelt gesture, but it only highlights how isolated he feels. When Mercedes spots him wandering outside the hospital, she approaches him hoping to lend a hand. However, things take a turn for the worse when he suddenly collapses, leaving everyone concerned about his condition. In a panic, Nancy quickly calls for an ambulance, knowing that every second counts. At the hospital, there's a somber atmosphere as everyone waits for updates. Peri later shares the troubling news with Darren that JJ has developed pneumonia. This adds another layer of complexity to an already dire situation. The group is left reeling, grappling with the reality of JJ's health struggles and the urgency to rally around him as he fights this latest challenge. 4. Misbah and Donny are on the rocks. Misbah is still fuming with Donny. The whole situation has left her feeling betrayed, and during a heart-to-heart with Vicky, she lays it all out. It's a raw moment where she reflects on their relationship and questions whether this is finally the breaking point for them. Misbah's frustration runs deep, and you can sense the weight of her emotions as she tries to figure out what she really wants moving forward. Meanwhile, Donny finds himself in a tight spot, and Robbie steps in to offer some help after getting wrapped up in the mess of the break-in. While Donny is grateful, there's a nagging doubt in the back of his mind about whether he can actually trust Robbie. It's a tricky situation, and with tensions running high, the stakes couldn't be greater. Donny is caught between trying to fix things with Misbah and dealing with the uncertainty of Robbie's intentions, which adds to the pressure he's already feeling. 5. Peri gets suspicious. Misbah starts to connect the dots when she notices that Cleo's hospital pass has been used, not realizing that Abe had previously taken it to grab some antibiotics. She shares her concerns with Peri, insisting that Cleo must have gotten her things from her locker, even though she didn't actually see her do it. This revelation stirs up anxiety for both women, as Misbah worries about what could be happening with Cleo and whether she might be in some kind of trouble. Meanwhile, Peri's concern for Cleo grows, so she heads over to Casa McQueen to ask Teresa if she's heard anything. However, Teresa's response is a bit too casual for Peri's liking. She nonchalantly mentions that Cleo is off enjoying herself in Bali, which doesn't exactly ease Peri's worries. Instead, it leaves her feeling even more unsettled, as she can't shake the feeling that something might be off. With the clock ticking, Peri is left wondering if Cleo really is just having fun or if there's something deeper going on that they don't yet understand. 6. Frankie confronts JJ. Vicky is feeling the weight of the world as she talks to Dylan, expressing her desperation to help Frankie, who is in a really tough spot right now. Frankie is heartbroken, and Vicky knows she needs to step in and support her friend. It's a tough situation, and she feels the urgency to find a way to bring some comfort to Frankie, who's struggling to cope with everything happening around her. Meanwhile, Darren is caught in the middle, trying to explain to Frankie that he isn't siding with JJ, even though he feels the need to be there for him during this hard time. It's a delicate balance, and Darren knows how much Frankie is hurting, but he also understands JJ needs support. Later on, Frankie confronts JJ outside the hospital, and the air is thick with tension as she demands answers. She wants to know why her brother has hurt her, and it's a moment filled with raw emotions and unresolved pain that has been simmering beneath the surface for far too long. 7. Cleo gives Abe advice. Abe can't shake the feeling that something is off with Peri lately. He decides to confide in Cleo about his concerns, hoping she might shed some light on what's going on. Cleo, on the other hand, seems unfazed and is more than willing to offer her insights. She understands the dynamics at play and knows their relationship isn't genuine, which gives her a unique perspective. While Abe genuinely cares about Peri, Cleo sees this as an opportunity to keep the facade going a little longer. Cleo encourages Abe to do everything he can to make Peri excited about the upcoming wedding, urging him to maintain the act. She knows that while Abe is putting in the effort, she's actually the one who will be standing at the altar as the real bride. This sets the stage for a complicated web of emotions, as Cleo manipulates the situation to her advantage. As Abe tries to keep up the charade and help Peri navigate her feelings, he remains blissfully unaware of Cleo's true intentions, creating a tension that could lead to unexpected drama down the line. 8. Lucas provides support. Frankie finds herself in a tough spot and ends up getting drunk at Robbie's place, leaving Lucas and Vicky feeling uneasy about their friend. They know she's going through a lot, and seeing her in this state only heightens their concern. It's clear that Frankie needs a break, so Nancy steps in to take her home, hoping that some time away from the party scene will help her sober up and regain her composure. Friends like Lucas and Vicky want to be there for her, but they can only watch from a distance as Frankie tries to navigate her feelings. Later on, Lucas decides to check in on Frankie, and as she opens up about what's been happening with JJ, it's a crucial moment for both of them. Frankie's ready to spill her emotions, and Lucas is determined to be the supportive friend she needs. The weight of her struggles hangs in the air as she reveals her fears and frustrations, and Lucas must step up to offer the comfort and understanding that Frankie desperately seeks. This heartfelt conversation could be a turning point for Frankie, showing her that she's not alone in this, and that she has people who care about her well-being. 9. Abe is nervous. Peri tells Marie she is scared that Cleo is back in the village. Marie brushes off her concerns and is adamant that Abe adores her, so she has nothing to worry about. Marie later tells the family that Cleo has returned. Joel becomes suspicious about the situation, and while Abe shuts him down, it seems like he is on borrowed time. Meanwhile, Leela is annoyed with Joel and wants him to stop worrying about his ex, Cleo. And that wraps up our sneak peek into next week's drama on Hollyoaks. With all the twists and turns coming our way from October 28th to November 1st, it's clear that our favourite characters are in for some intense moments. From Frankie's emotional struggles to Cleo's mysterious return, there's no shortage of intrigue ahead. We're definitely in for a rollercoaster ride as tensions rise and secrets threaten to spill out. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay updated on all things Hollyoaks, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We'll keep you posted on the latest spoilers and reactions as the drama unfolds. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for more juicy gossip and analysis.